Hi everyone, welcome back to the Spoiler Lounge. I'm Philip.
This is your black guy signing in. What's going on, Pete? What's going on?
He's just always gonna say that. It's episode 10. I'm gonna get used to it. It's episode 10. You're just gonna always say that.
Yes,
I
sir.
should just start introducing myself as the Cuban or the Latino. The Latino. All
The
right,
Latino.
all right, guys. If you saw the video I made yesterday, you know that we did record a ninth episode. The audio didn't save, so I recorded a like 16, 17 minute video talking about the stuff that Josh and I covered last time, just so that we don't have to like rehash it, and
Yeah.
also so you guys aren't confused as to why there are some topics we're skipping. We did cover them. They just weren't saved, unfortunately. Anyway,
Let's
thank you.
shoot. I think that coverage of episode 9 was probably like what 2 hours and like 30 minutes.
Yeah, it was. No, it was like, yeah, 2.5 hours worth. It was like the length of Infinity War. Anyway, since then, there has been some new stuff to cover. The first one I wanted to talk about is that Spaceballs announcement. I knew it wasn't going to be called Spaceballs: The Search for More Money. I know that's what they said in the first film, but I was like, that's not what it's actually going to be called. It's going to be called something like Spaceballs: The Sequel.
Spaceball.
I mean, because it's in line with all the merchandise, right? Like, Spaceballs the t-shirt, Spaceballs the blanket, Spaceballs the flamethrower. It made sense. Spaceballs the sequel. But what he actually ended up calling it, I think, is even better. Spaceballs the new one. That was good.
Yeah, that's. Didn't they announce? I think they announced this at CinemaCon, right?
I don't know. I just saw the YouTube video.
I think it was at CinemaCon as well too, for
Hmm.
like the early announcement and for the release and stuff like that. But yeah.
Oh, um, this isn't actually related to the video, but something I wanted to show you, Josh. So I decided to start watching slash reading everything Indiana Jones in order. So I
Ooh.
got books 1 through 7 and 12 through 13 of the young Indiana Jones.
Sheesh.
Plantation Treasure. Wow.
Oh dang.
Tomb of Terror, Circle of Death, Secret City,
Oh my goodness,
Princess of
bro.
Peril, Gypsy's Revenge. Oh, Gypsy Revenge. Ghostly Riders,
Go to sleep, right?
The Journey to the Underworld,
Okay.
and The Mountain of Fire.
Ooh man. When'd you get those?
Just yesterday, and I still have some more arriving. All of these books take place in like the early 1910s.
I figured that. That's what I was just thinking because I was just watching some clips like last week with Harrison Ford and Shia LaBeouf, and I was wondering. I'm like, I wonder what Disney plans on doing with that particular franchise. Like, are they going to reboot it or start something new or what?
I wouldn't reboot it in terms of like movies. The Young Indiana Jones Chronicles I think were a good idea, but given that they covered Indy around the ages of like 8 to 10, and then they covered it like 16 to 20. I
Uh
mean,
huh.
the next step is Harrison Ford. After that, and you've covered Harrison Ford from the age of like what, 35, 36 all the way to 70.
Yep.
So, no, I think the best way to go about it is either comics, books, or video games.
Yeah, the novels always hit. Have you ever? I wanted to ask you. Have you ever been on a ride at Disneyland, Indiana?
Long time ago, yes.
How long has it been, bro?
I don't know, probably over a decade. And also, sorry guys to go on the segue. It's just that thinking of Spaceballs led me to Indiana Jones because you know how what's his name, Mel Brooks, asked if he could parody Star Wars, and then George Lucas said, "Okay, but you cannot dress your guy like Han Solo." So Mel
Oh,
Brooks is like, "Okay," and then dressed him like Indiana Jones instead. Oh man, I love Mel Brooks.
oh my goodness, yo, Harrison Ford is a hitter, bro. Like he did, bro, he did what Star Wars, then he did what Blade Runner,
Oh,
then he did,
oh,
bro.
in the 80s, yeah, he did. He had, well, he'd already been part of Star Wars. Then he did Indiana Jones. Then he did Blade Runner. And what's crazy is he was one of the actors that was considered for 80s Batman.
Really,
Bro,
I didn't know that.
if he, along with all those other roles, if he had become Batman, he possibly would
Oh,
have been the biggest actor of all time. He would have been too powerful. This is why God had to nerf him. He would have been the most powerful actor. And
so he
oh,
wait, so he probably would have replaced
Keaton.
not not Tim Michael Keaton's or Tim Burton's.
Well, he would have replaced him. He would have just been in his place. But Keaton's, Tim Burton's. And yeah, they actually told him this only last year. Like he himself didn't know this until last year. And during an interview, it's hilarious. You could like see him, and he's like, "Oh, I could have, I could have had a career." Like just like in that very Harrison Ford style. Oh, speaking of
Bro.
Harrison Ford, yesterday I rewatched a video from like 5-ish years ago where somebody
Uh,
edited what's his name, Aldrich Heinrich's face in Solo to be
uh,
Han Solo's young face, and like I always knew Aldrich like had Han Solo's mannerisms down to a T, but when you put
yeah.
Harrison Ford's face on it, you could totally see it. I'll send you that video after this. Anyway, sorry, I went on this long segue. Um, okay, another thing that was announced, or rather got another trailer, was to the Jack Ryan film. I think it's called Ghost War.
Ghost War.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if you watch the Ryan verse films and shows, but when the Krasinski show ended, I think it was a couple years ago now, with season 4. Like I thought that was it. I was like, okay, John Krasinski, did his time as Jack Ryan. But now that there's a film coming, I wonder if it'll work as like a epilogue, just a fun addition, or if they're going to branch into films for that universe. I'm not sure if you know who Jack Ryan is. If I'm being honest.
I'm trying to see, was this the series that was released? Because that were Ryan's. It's a couple of things that I know about Ryan. Was this the series that was released on Amazon? On
Yes, with John Krasinski.
I tapped into it a little bit. I didn't finish it though. I didn't
Yeah.
finish it.
Speaking of Ryan verse films, the one Without Remorse with Michael what's his, Michael J. Oh my God,
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan. I was about to say Michael J. Fox. I was like, hold on, Michael B.
Oh,
Jordan. But that was supposed to get a sequel, and that film was almost 5 years ago now. I wonder.
oh, man, we gonna be getting something totally better. Okay, let me say this real quick.
Maybe Rainbow Six. Anyway, go ahead.
Oh, yep, a Rainbow Six, and then I also did some research 2 days ago. They're actually in works to do a Battlefield as well too. That's gonna be like a sequel to Without Remorse. So I think I forgot what's his name. The writer, I think the writer that did oh, what's the name of that film, bro? What's the name of that film? I think maybe it's specifically the one that did Without Remorse is actually on projects with Michael B. Jordan to do Battlefield, and I think they're going through pre-production and they're noticing that like if the writing is good, he actually might be starring in it. So it's kind of like he's gonna have to do Battlefield. Then on top of that, oh my gosh, it got confirmed that Michael B. Jordan is also gonna be doing I am I Am Legend 2 with Will Smith. So bro, like Michael B. Jordan's about to be killing a whole bunch of projects like
What
within the
is Will Smith? Sorry, yesterday I was listening to a Penguin Z video. It was titled "The Weirdest Celebrity Couple" or something like that, and I was just. It's from like 3 years ago, so I'm like still in that mentality of the Will Smith just slapped Chris Rock, and his career was thrown away for a year.
yeah.
I don't know. Is he back? Like, is he working again? I mean, I imagine he is, but
I mean, he's working, but he's having a lot of he just recently went through a separation and a divorce with his ex-wife Jada Pinkett for like the past 5 years.
mm,
It's been just like a whole bunch of stuff going on. So like it's kind of like, it's yeah, it's not looking
mm.
too good for Will, but
Oh,
you
and
know,
speaking of, oh wait, well, I was gonna say something about. Oh, right. Speaking of Michael B. Jordan, I wonder if we're still gonna get that Black Superman film. You know, like that alternate one where it's Zod's kid that's sent rather than
yeah,
Jor-El's. Like I was looking forward to that. And since I mean they announced this before the DCEU reboot, but
yeah,
given that it's not the main continuity of either the DCEU or the DCU, I,
right.
I think it could just be an Elseworlds film if they're still going to make it happen. I'm just wondering if we're still going to get it.
I think I wouldn't say it's far out of reach, but I will say like as far as like his scheduling, like his like bro, he's like freaking like booked.
I mean, yeah, especially now that he won an award. Deservedly so. He totally deserved
Yeah,
that award.
yeah, bro. Because remember, I think I sent you something like a month ago, and it was like upcoming 6 films that Michael B. Jordan is going to be doing. One of them was like Miami Vice. Then, bro, oh man, yeah, it's bro, it's about to be lit. And
But
I heard he's doing like a him and well yeah, I'll touch on that later. We getting off
yeah.
topic. I'll come back.
By the way, I love the Rusty's hat.
Oh, appreciate it, fam. Appreciate it,
Yeah, I mean,
appreciate it,
come on. I grew up with cars,
bro.
and being a fan of the color red, Lightning was my favorite.
Oh wait, hold on. Let me show you something real quick. Let me show this. Let me show you my. If you like this,
For one Halloween, I actually was Lightning McQueen, or maybe it
this is
was.
my souvenir jacket.
Wait, I have that exact one, except it's small because I had it when I was a kid. No, but I have that one, just like a much smaller one.
What the? And I got my red bands to go with this, man. I'm gonna wear this on my next Disneyland trip. But
No,
anyway,
the craziest Cars merchandise I have is actually a TV that's Lightning McQueen.
no, you have that? Because I know,
This one, this one.
wait, you still have that?
It's in my brother's room, but yeah, I'll send you. I'm not gonna send everyone listening. Sorry, I'm not gonna send you a picture. I'll send Josh a picture later.
Bro, I remember when they came out with that because they had, I think it was Lightning McQueen. Then they did something with the Disney princesses, and then the Mickey Mouse one with the ears. Like, bro, that is like what, like retro, like early mid 2000s,
Oh,
bro.
I have a Mickey Mouse radio. Let me see if Mickey Mouse. Let me see if I could get the photo of it. Cause I'm not gonna. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. 2005. This one. I got this.
Ooh, oh, isn't that the Oh no, I thought that was the CD player.
Yeah,
Oh
it
my
it,
god,
it plays CDs. It plays CDs.
yo, I remember that one. That's crazy,
Yeah,
bro.
both of them are in my brother's room. Cause the room I'm in now used to be our playroom when we were little kids, and
Uh huh.
Christian and I would sleep in the same room.
Y'all have bunk beds?
Not just beds next to each other. And eventually, I moved to this room because we were getting bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, but both of those things stayed in his room. Anyway, all right. Sorry, moving on. The next trailer that came out, like I knew it had to be coming out sometime soon.
Mm.
Citadel Season 2. I'm not sure if you interact with the Citadel Spyverse, but a quick breakdown is the creators wanted to create multiple shows that exist in the same world. So back in 2023, they released
Mm.
Citadel, and then in 2024, they released Citadel Diana, which is an Italian Citadel show, and they're also set in different countries. And
Right.
you could change on. They do give you the settings to change it to English, but it was
Right.
shot in Italian. And
Oh.
then they did an Indian one in 2024 as well. That one's called Citadel Honey Bunny. I know I think Diana was canceled. I don't know if Honey Bunny was. I liked both of
Diana.
them. And there was nothing last year, so I was like, they got to have something this year. And they came back with season 2 of the main show, which I think premieres a week from now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, I'm looking forward to that. The next
Oh,
thing I want to talk about, Silo season 3 coming out
what's
this
this?
year.
For the ones that don't know, what's the synopsis for Silo? What's the synopsis
All
for it? What
right,
is it?
so a big catastrophe happened year, years and years ago, and human beings were moved into silos, and like their own forms of government just like took over. Going outside was both seen, depending on who you are, was either seen as freedom or a
Mm.
punishment, because if you went outside, you died, or supposedly you died. I don't want to say where the story is now. That's all I'm gonna get. That's all I'm gonna say in case anybody wants to jump in. But season 3 is coming out, and it seems like this season is also gonna have flashbacks so that we could learn what it was that happened. I haven't read the books that Silo are based on, so I actually don't know the story. Most things that come out that are based on books I've read, but Silo is a rare exception. So I'm truly just going to experience it as like a first timer, as a fan.
Got you. Got
Although
you.
I started watching it because it has Rebecca Ferguson.
Huh. Okay. I might look into that. I might look into that. Sounds interesting.
It also had Rashida Jones, which I didn't know about. Anyway,
Dang, that name familiar.
it's on Apple, I think.
Oh, Apple. Okay, I got you. Got you. Got you.
Yeah,
Got you.
I don't know. I don't know. I watch so many shows that I do tend to forget which ones belong to which, unless it's part of their identity. Like, I can't forget that Netflix is Stranger Things, right? Like, they've made it part of their identity.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. The next trailer I wanted to talk about is one I'm excited about, and I'm glad we got a trailer this early. Or late.
Bro,
Or maybe it's late. Clayface.
bro, this trailer looks freaking
Bro,
good, bro. Like,
I
oh,
I was hoping that they would go the whatchamacallit, what was I about to say, body horror route. Like,
uh,
of all the characters that you can do a body horror film about, Clayface is one of the top contenders.
easily top three,
Yeah.
top three,
Oh, and
top three.
I have seen people make memes like, I can't believe this is the same character as that silly Clayface character in the Harley Quinn show. Okay, nerd moment. There are different Clayfaces. You're talking
Yeah,
about Basil Carlo versus Matt Hagen. There are different versions of Clayface. Anyway, I do think we're gonna get to see him in his full clay form. I mean, we have to, and we also got a shadow of him like hitting somebody with what looks like a.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
It looks like a bro. It looks like the way how they shot it. It looks like it's gonna be like a thriller. Cause I'm kind of like, bro, I'm kind of like when I was watching it, I'm like, damn, I kind of look spooked, and like the inspiration that they got for like his face, like being like deformed. I'm like so distorted. I'm like, bro, this mess is gonna be wild. Like I wanted to ask, like, is this just gonna be like a one off thing, or is this gonna be like set into like a trilogy? Because I'm like, bro, they can
Uh,
do so much with face.
as far as I know, it's a standalone, but it does take place in the DCEU.
Uh huh.
The only time we've seen Clayface, or sorry, DCU. The only time we've seen Clayface in the DCU so far was in Creature Commandos. But by then he's like full on
Yeah.
Clayface. So like this is obviously before that. I don't know how far back we are going, but either way, I think it's possible this
Yeah.
film could debut Batman, the DCU Batman. Now, I know James Gunn has a plan to take us to where he already has his fifth Robin, or at least his favorite Robin, Damian Wayne.
Okay.
But
Yep.
given that this is earlier, maybe like I think he does plan to have Dick Grayson, but probably when he's already Nightwing. If we've got Damian as Robin, then Dick is probably already Nightwing. But in this
Yep.
film, if Dick is around, he'd probably still be Robin. Or maybe James is just going to be crazier and give us Jason Todd. Oh man,
Oh my goodness, bro.
I know.
But I'm like, oh my gosh, if they go ahead and they throw Jason Todd in, they gonna have to throw in that particular
Red.
that spectrum, you know, the red hood, you know. But anyway, yeah, that's
Let's just say Jason should always stay away from people with crowbars. Do you know how that story came about? By the way, like it's crazy.
nah,
All
nah,
right. So obviously Jason Todd is the second Robin. Like people love Dick Grayson. He was their Robin, and eventually they almost controversially. It's a lot less controversial now. They had Robin move on, and then
yeah,
Batman took in Jason Todd. He caught this kid like trying to steal the tires off his Batmobile. Anyway, but and he's a harsher version of Dick Grayson. So people were hating on him for a while, and then eventually the creators did the famous Joker one, where beaten with the crowbar, and
yeah,
he's gonna blow up the building with Jason in it. Batman's on his way, and they let viewers. Not viewers. Sorry, I'm so used to film. They let readers decide, like, call this number if you think Batman gets there in time. Call this number if you think he doesn't. And in comic book history, the fans decided Batman doesn't make it.
yeah.
And yeah, well, the rest is history. We ended up with Jason Todd's Red Hood, and personally, I think it's better that Batman didn't make. If I was back then, I probably would have said, "Oh, of course, Batman makes it. Batman makes it, of course," because
Yeah,
that was like the feeling of comics back then. But yeah, I think it's realistic that he doesn't get to save everyone. He saves as many as he can, but he doesn't save everyone, and sometimes that does come at a personal cost. Anyway, so yeah, with Clayface, I think it's possible we'll get Batman. Creature Commandos had the outline of Batman, like we saw him in the skyline, but like just for
yeah.
a second, nobody spoke, so we have no confirmation of who's playing him. We don't really know what his DCU suit looks like.
It's mysterious.
Yeah, but I mean, it's also possible that we get Batman that way. Like he's kind of there, but we don't like full on see him. But anyway, I just think like if this is going down in Gotham, how is he not gonna? I mean, maybe he doesn't hear about most of it because he's just like a regular dude for most of it and just going through stuff. But once he becomes full on Clayface, I feel like Batman at some point has to hear
Yeah.
about it.
I think it makes sense because it's so much like when you look at like the asylum and you look at Gotham City, it's like this is still like a new, young, fresh like year two Batman trying to get more experience, and then he's dealing with the whole crime family that's going on with in Gotham. So like Clayface, like it's kind of like he's probably hearing rumors about it, but it's kind of like he's dealing with like the lore of like the drugs, the prostitution, and all those. Like, cause everybody's new, bro. Everybody's fresh, cause like we don't even know about Joker yet.
Oh,
So
I'm gonna check the recording real fast.
uh
Okay, cool, cool. I'm just checking to make sure it's still happening.
we good?
We're good.
Yeah.
We're good. We're good. Just
Okay.
before we get too much further. Anyway. Yeah. That's Clayface. Right now, I don't have too much to say about it. Like, I think I've said everything I want to, because right now
Yeah.
it's just a teaser, and most of the teaser is focused on obviously his, I don't know if I want to say broken mental state, but just like his state of mind post accident, which I think leads him to the experimental like face reshaping thing, and then ultimately goes wrong. Personally, my favorite Clayface origin has always been the one from the animated series.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Though, Batman Caped Crusader, the show that came out a couple years ago, they also had a really good Clayface origin story, and they make him more threatening than he is in the, or threatening in a different way. Not threatening as in like physically imposing, but threatening as in just like creepy, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know if you've seen that show. Highly recommend it. I hope season
That came,
two.
that came on like what 3-4 years ago, right?
Yeah, like 2 years ago. The other
Yeah.
the other origin in that show that I think is really good is Harley Quinn's, and I think it's unique because it gives her an origin story separate from the Joker. Like, it gives her a unique origin
Yeah.
story. And it's very much in line with her being a psychiatrist.
Yeah. So yep.
Alright. Sorry.
DC cooking, bro. DC cook. Oh, and speaking, hold on. I'm like, bro. I'm like, since we own Clayface, it's kind of like I'm like, bro. Like, I'm really so excited to see how Sebastian. Because now, since you're talking about the experiment of how they're going to be utilizing of how the failed experiment went, and him battling between these two bipolar disorders, it kind of reminds me of how Sebastian Stan,
Mm.
since he's going to be playing Two Face, I wonder how he's going to be like attacking that particular type of mental fortitude of
Before
what, bro.
before saying anything, I just want to applaud whoever did the promo photos of Pattinson and Stan, because
Bro,
with Pattinson, you know, it's him there, but shadows over this part of his face, leaving just his mouth, and you can kind of see his eyes. And then with Sebastian Stan, shadows over half of his face, like that. That is great. Although I kind of wish that we got a film, kind of like the '80s, where we get Harvey, like a whole film of him being Harvey before he's Two Face. Because I mean, yeah, you got versions like Nolan where you do appreciate Harvey as a person before he's Two Face. So you gotta like lament who he used to be. But I think for this new Batman, even though he does become Two Face, and you can allude to it, especially with the coin, or that he's two faced,
Yeah.
I kind of want to see Sebastian Stan as just Harvey for this first film, or second film, I mean, and then in the third film, turn him into Two Face.
Yeah. We don't want to jump into it too fast, because it's kind of like what you just said. The point. I feel like for the sequel, we need to see more of Bruce Wayne and how he addresses, how he deals with Gotham as Bruce. Because I think one of my favorite adaptations was when Harvey Dent was trying to be mayor, trying to be a political figure, and then contextually from if you guys ever played the Telltale series or Arkham Asylum, or all that stuff, because there's some storylines to where Harvey Dent and Bruce Wayne are real close, because Cobblepot family, the Bruce family, and the Dent family, they really they were all knitted together and were real close. But as they grew older, they kind of went on their like separate, paths and everything.
Yeah.
So I really hope they really dive into that.
I
That
think
was
I think my favorite Two-Face comic book origin is the one from excuse me, the Long Halloween,
yeah.
because it just I mean the part that especially resonates with me is towards the end where a year earlier, Batman, Dent, and Gordon like made the vow that they were gonna capture this guy, and it ends a year later. And by then, Harvey has become Two-Face. He's committed crimes, and you just feel like the past year, like you failed, like it could have gone so differently. And I think that's always the best way to go about Two-Face. Don't treat him as a straight villain. He is a tragedy. Like he was somebody that once believed in like true justice. He's basically a fallen angel.
Ooh, that's a perfect. Oh my God, that's a perfect metaphor. That's a good analogy right there. I like that.
Oh, speaking of, I saw somebody who made a funny comment. They said Ghost Rider should be called Daredevil. Daredevil should be called Batman. And I think they said Batman should be called Ghost Rider. Something like that.
What's this? Was this like last week?
No, it was a little while ago, but it's last week when I came across it. You know what? Forget that one. Forget that one. Alright, next trailer I wanted to talk about, unless you had something else to talk about with Clayface, or?
No, that's it. That's it.
Alright. This was a canceled project, and I'm surprised that it's still happening, but I'm excited for it. Coyote versus Acme. Did you see that trailer?
No, I didn't know. I didn't get to see it. No, I didn't get to see it. No.
Alright, so I'll just go through it quickly for everyone listening without spoiling it for you. This project, I heard about it a while ago, but then they said it was canceled, and now there's a trailer for it, so I guess it's actually happening. So in my head, I'm going to pretend that Acme tried to get it canceled. But anyway, Josh, I'll show you the trailer after this. It is awesome. I love when they combine cartoons with real life. I loved Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and it feels like it's kind of in spirit with that. So I'll show you the trailer. It's got a good cast. It's got good characters in it. The plot looks good. And that's all I want to say about it. Okay, moving on. I don't know if you watch Vivian Medrano, Vizzy Pop's universe, like Helluva Boss and Hazbin Hotel, but quick announcements then. Helluva Boss Season 3 is happening this year, and apparently it's going to be longer than other seasons with 15 episodes. Meanwhile, the other show, Hazbin Hotel, which was already renewed for Seasons 3 and 4, just got renewed for a 5th season, but the big news about that is the 5th season is going to be the final season. And I think it's smart when you know when the story's going to end, because then you can plan like where the end game is, so you're not like stretching out the middle or rushing the middle. It's good when you, since they have the next 3 seasons, like they know they have 3 seasons left, and I'm assuming 8 episodes each, because the first 2 were 8 episodes each. So that's 24 episodes. That gives them a good map to know where the story's going to end. I know Medrano previously wanted it to run for 6 seasons because she loves BoJack Horseman, and she wanted it to run for the same number of seasons. But either way, I think it's good that they know where it's going to end. Alright, moving on. Now we're going to Marvel. A new trailer for Spider... Oh, go ahead.
Philip, I'm so disappointed in you. Because I'm like, bro, I'm so surprised that you don't have Godzilla -1 on here.
Oh, you mean -0?
Yeah, -0, my bad.
Oh my god, I actually did forget to write... Oh my god. No, I must have been too excited, because with all these trailers and announcements, I wrote them down right away. I think I was too excited about -0, because I sent that trailer to everybody, and I forgot to put it on my list. Oh, you're right, -0. You haven't seen you haven't seen -1 yet. I still gotta invite you over to see -1. I finally got it on DVD. I think that's actually the same day I looked to see if they had it on DVD, and then I
No,
and then
no
and
way.
then remember I texted you. I was like, I bought it on DVD. Here it is. Like, come
You
over.
oh yeah, you showed me on episode 9. Well,
That's
they
right.
didn't see me.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So yeah,
Oh,
like
you got a link.
seriously, invite me over or come over. It's I still think
Man,
it's the best Godzilla film I've ever seen. It's got so much heart in it. It's very much like a modernized remake of the original 1954 film, but with added layers. I'm still a fan of the one from the 50s. I especially love the 2001 film,
oh
but
man, bro.
and yes, I do love the MonsterVerse films as well because those were some of my earliest,
Preview. Yeah.
yeah, earliest previews into the Godzilla franchise. Even though they're American,
Same. Yeah.
but
Oh my.
minus one is just a different level, man. I'll show you. Yes, minus zero is coming out, and I don't want to say too much about my theories because I don't want to give anything away about minus zero. We'll talk about this after we see minus zero. Moving on to Marvel, I'm not sure if you saw, they released a second trailer for Spider-Noir.
For what's his name?
Nicolas Cage's Spider-Man.
Yo, I actually did see some stuff with like the villains, like Sandman,
Electro.
Electro. Bro, it looks good. It looks good.
Uh,
Bro.
I what I'm conflicted on right now is they're releasing it two ways: black and white or full on color. Now, when I first heard that, I'm like, oh, of course I'm gonna watch it in black and white, right? Like that's very much in spirit with Spider
Yeah.
Noir. But then when I saw, because I watched both trailers, and when I saw the colored version, the colors are beautiful. Like it's not like they just filmed it; like they actually paid attention to the colors. And now part of me is like, oh, but if I watch it in black and white, I'm not gonna get to appreciate the like color corrections that they did or the colors of the costumes and the lighting. Like I know they put work into that. Like Creed 3, you know, the level of attention to the lighting. I I mean, I'm gonna watch both, I think. But which one am I gonna do first? You know,
Are they gonna? This is. I got a question. Are they gonna be releasing this in theaters, or this is just gonna be coming out on Amazon?
Amazon, I think.
Damn, why they keep? Oh my god! This is the issue that I have. I'm about to go on a little rant real quick.
No, go ahead. Cut that, and I
Some
went on a rant.
some of these companies need to like, bro. This needs a theatrical release. I don't like I understand they want to get people on certain platforms and stuff like that, but this is the reason. Like, and I'm about to go on a whole rant with this because I don't know whether you guys like heard it or not. It's just kind of like the reason why I'm so upset at this is because it came from Avatar: The Last Airbender, and you know things been getting released with Paramount Studios, and most of the fan base, which is about 24 million, thought it was going to be a theatrical release. They was just like, oh no, it's been about 6 years since we know. It's been about 9 years since we got any content on Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Besides the live
Like
action show.
besides the live action show, and it's just kind of like many fans thought, oh, we're going to be getting a theatrical release and it's coming out in October. It was like, oh no, this is just going to be on Paramount Plus. It was just kind of like on Paramount Plus, man. This so I'm like, I figure these type of companies will want to make more money if they do a whole theatrical release instead of
It.
relegating it to the streaming
I
platforms.
think if enough people get excited about it, they could be pushed into putting it in theaters, or at least inspired to. Well, this isn't a direct one to one, but do you know what the Amazing Digital Circus is?
I heard, no, I heard of them.
Yeah.
I heard of them.
So the final episode, episode 9, is actually going to be released early in theaters. Like
Ooh, see,
it's that popular in multiple countries too, like not just America.
uh,
So, like, despite it being a YouTube sensation, its finale is going to be in theaters. And I think that has to do with a lot of people like tuning in, a lot of people loving it. I mean, I saw people cosplaying these characters when only 2 episodes were out. So
Dang, that's crazy. Cosplay? That's wild.
yeah, like a couple years ago when I went to the anime convention, the same
Huh?
place I got Anya here.
Yeah.
I saw somebody dressed as what's her name, Pomni, and at the time only 2 episodes. I hadn't yet started the show, but only 2 episodes had come out at the time.
That's wild. That's breaking.
Yeah. So, but yeah, with Avatar, I would want a theatrical release. I mean, it was Nickelodeon's biggest show, and for some people, it's still their biggest show.
Yo,
I mean,
dude.
I know SpongeBob is technically their biggest show, but I mean,
Ah.
SpongeBob's kind of fallen off. No offense.
I went to it is falling off. Like me and Kev, I think we were going to see. I think what movie were we going to see at the particular time? It was like a hit movie earlier within this year, and I think we snuck in there. We was just like, well, since this movie hasn't started yet, let's go sneak and let's go watch SpongeBob. And we did. And it was kind of like, yeah, SpongeBob don't hit like it used to. Like it's drastically changed. But
I,
yeah,
I loved the classics. You know, the Magic Conch, I ripped my pants, or the one where SpongeBob got hired, Squidward and the Time Machine. Yeah, those were the ones. Anyway, but yeah, with Spider-Noir, story wise, I don't want to guess what's going to happen because
either.
we've never had this character be the headliner. So
Yeah.
I kind of just want to go into it cold. I love the trailers, but I want to go into it cold. But like I said, right now my main conflict is which version do I see first? Do I stick to the theme of the character, black and white, or do I go in there with the true color version and
I think you're going.
appreciate?
I think you're going. I think I think you're going to see the true. I think you're going to see the color version first, and then you're probably going to see the no, the black and white. I think that's what you're going to do, bro. Because you sound like you leaning towards the color spectrum for sure.
You know what? You know what? I'm going to let the gods decide my fate. They're gonna put those two versions next to each other. I know they are.
Yeah.
Whichever one is on the left is the one I'm starting with. I'm gonna let them decide. Cause like with the trailers, I put both trailers in my watch later, and you know I did that one like arrange all my watch later videos from oldest to newest. I'm gonna watch whichever one of these they released first. So I'm gonna let it's out of my hands. Either black and white to color or color to black and white. All right.
I'm I'm trying to see. I was gonna have you decide going based off the spectrum because you have like the RGB, the circle, and then the color triangle, and then like yeah. But I'm
Yeah.
like monochromatic. It's a cinematography thing, guys. So
All right.
just but yeah.
Keeping with the Marvel topic, when Josh and I recorded episode 9, the latest episode of Born Again was the one where Vanessa Fisk just got hit in the head with the glass, and Josh and I suspected was that what Bullseye originally intended, because I was like, well, he could have been aiming for something else, and then Fisk hitting it with the belt ricocheted it into her head. But then I was like, that doesn't really make sense though, because he aimed down. Like, if Bullseye aimed for her head, Kingpin hit it, and then it hit her heart, then it'd be a bit more plausible.
Yeah.
But anyway, and then I also commented like, oh man, we just saw how she's somebody that could like tone down the Kingpin's like brutality, and the fact that she was in a red dress for so much of the episode, and then she's in a white dress, and then gets stained red with her blood. Like I thought that was beautiful, and
I was like a painting.
and I've always loved the conflict, Daredevil versus Kingpin versus Bullseye versus Daredevil. Like, you got good and bad and a wild card that makes for some really good conflict.
Good thing.
Yeah, and I was excited to see all three of them in the same place at once for the first time since I think the season 3 finale. No, well, technically they were in the same place in the penultimate episode of last season, but not like close up. Bullseye was
Yeah,
up there sniping, but yeah, man,
I think because last time like
we
this
we debated whether or not she was gonna die. That was the big debate that we had. Like, is that her dead right now, or is she going to live? Or maybe we're gonna get an episode of her like slowly dying. We know now.
yeah.
Are you all caught up? Did you see this week's?
I mean, I'm not fully caught up yet. But what I do know is what I heard is that there's been like a crazy flashback scene. What I heard from Foggy, and then I heard there's been like another like a pinnacle fight between like I think Kingpin and Daredevil. That's all
Oh,
that's all I
so
know.
so you're a few weeks behind.
Yeah, I'm probably like, what's today?
Because
Dang, dang.
the flashbacks were a couple of weeks ago. All I want to say is the flashbacks did bring back somebody, besides Foggy, and y'all don't understand that flashback. If you know who I'm talking about, he wears glasses. You'll see him. You don't understand. That flashback was as important to me as Andrew Garfield in No Way Home. I know he's nowhere near as big of a character, but it matters to me. And this past episode brought back a detective character. I'm not going to say who. He was somebody I always loved from the original shows. I'm glad they brought him back. I'm glad that Disney is not forgetting our side characters. And I mean, Josh, at this point, the other character that's come back is one you have to have known about. Like it was in the season 2 trailer, and like
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay,
you know she's back, right?
yeah, she's back. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
JJ, JJ,
Um,
JJ.
there's stuff about where she is now. Like, we do catch up with her years after we last
Yeah.
saw her, and especially since this is technically in the future. I think right now we're in 2027 with Born Again. I think. But anyway, so it's been like, I don't know, anywhere between 8 to 9 years since we've seen her. I'm not gonna say how her life has changed, but you'll see. You'll see, and then I want to talk with you about it because I think I know what storyline they're going to do. You and I in episode 9 talked about how Luke Cage and Danny Rand are probably coming back, and then we also talked about how I want Colleen and Misty to come back. Although since it's been years since we've seen them, I think we could just already have Heroes for Hire and the Daughters of the Dragon established. Like,
Yeah,
we don't necessarily need to go through the origin. Like I said, it's been so long, and I another thing I hate about time skips or like missing time is when they just pick up right where they were, because
yeah.
it gives the impression that like nothing happened during those years. Like,
It's exhausting.
they just had like 7 or 8 unexciting years. Like, no, I like with Jessica Jones, we see that stuff has happened. Like, her life has gone on since we last saw her. We're just catching up with her now. So
Yeah,
I would like to see that with Luke, Danny, Colleen, and Misty. Heroes for Hire, Daughters of the Dragon, make it happen, Marvel, please, please. All right, so I won't say much more about Born Again. I think you got like 3 episodes to catch up on.
oh my gosh, I got a lot of work. I got a lot of homework.
Uh, since the last time we talked, I think The Boys has also premiered.
Bro,
The
I've been
final
here, bro.
season,
See what is it like? What season 3 or something like that?
season 5,
Damn, season 5.
final
I heard,
season.
I heard what I was hearing. I heard
To the list.
Yeah,
she
you
added.
heard her. Add the boys to the list. Hey Siri, add the boys to the list. Oh, now my phone heard me.
Heard someone. I heard someone got. I heard like I think someone. I heard someone majorly got killed off. Like boom, boom, boom. Like I heard someone got pounded, bro. In
It's
season 5.
it's the final season. There have been a few deaths as of now. For everybody listening, the episode from yesterday was episode 5, and there was a death. Well, actually, a couple deaths. And there was a good reunion this past episode. Some of you know what I'm talking about, but I'm not sure if you watch The Boys. Maybe you don't. But it has been a wild show. Okay, this might be a bit of a spoiler, but at the same time, not necessarily, because they've had it in some of the promos. A couple weeks ago, there was an episode where Homelander decided he's going to be God.
Oh, snap.
And he even had a, like, Christ Jesus, like, moment where a lady comes here to tell him that, like, he's the Messiah, he's going to be the chosen one. Like, he's at that level of crazy, right? Now, when they wrote this, it was meant to be absurdist TV, right? Like, they're trying to, like, take things to, like, 12. They're, like, looking at reality, they're turning up the dial to 12 or 14. 2 days before that episode, no, 2 or 3 days before that episode came out, our president had that AI image of himself as Jesus. And the guy, Eric Kripke, I think it was, he commented on it. He's like, we were, like, so nervous about that episode and how people were gonna, like, take it. And then our president actually put an image of himself as Jesus. And, like, we just wanted to make some absurdist TV, and, you know, like, reality is just mimicking the show at this point. Like, can we just please put something ridiculous on television? I'm tired of reality matching our show. And like, it's hilarious. I mean, for reality's sake, it's terrible, but for marketing purposes, that was great. Like,
I know the producers are freaking out. Like, what was, like, The Simpsons? Like,
yeah, like, I mean, I don't know. Based on some of the posters from, like, back in November, the finale might be explosive, and if reality is going to mirror the show, we might be in for some stuff. Okay, another prime superhero show that was recently on and has since concluded was Invincible Season 4.
Damn, they're on the Season 4 now?
Alright, so spoiler, I don't want to give spoilers. I've read the comics. I know we're at more or less the halfway point. I think the show could run for 7 or 8 seasons. We're relatively at the halfway point. I'm not going to say what has happened, what's going to end, or how it's going to end, or how this season ended. All I'm going to say is I want to touch on people who critique the animation. It's not necessarily the animator's fault, because the past couple seasons have been like every year. And, I mean, they're on a strict schedule. They have to put out, like, basically 8 hours worth of material per year. Like, that's a crazy schedule. I mean, and then think about it. How many frames? I mean, I think even if it's 8 or 24, that's a lot of frames per second. Like,
they work like 14 hours a day.
Yeah, so I wouldn't blame the animators, because they're... And also, I think some viewers... I know people complain about waiting 2 years for stuff, but if you want good quality, I'm willing to wait for it. Like, I do get disappointed when I wait 2 years for something that's kind of meh. Like, I loved Season 1 of House of the Dragon. But then Season 2, most episodes felt like filler, and I was like, I waited 2 years for this, and now I have to wait another 2 years for the actual Dance of the Dragons to start? Like, I wanted the war already. If it... they have like 4 seasons worth of material, and then when Season 2 came out, I was like, oh my god, they're trying to like stretch it. See, that's when I get disappointed. But if I wait 2 years and it's good, I'm okay with that. Like Peacemaker Season 2, I waited 3.5 years. I'm okay with it. I loved Season 2. Okay, so yeah, with Invincible, I don't need the dangling keys in front of me every single year, you know. I'm okay. I'm okay waiting. Like, I really am. If If they want the animation to be better, I'm okay with it. I don't necessarily have a problem with the animation now, if I'm being honest. Like, it's kind of always been like a simplified version. Like, I don't know, maybe people were just expecting it to be as brutal looking as the boys, but I kind of like the style of Invincible. So, if we get it every year, fine. If we get it every year and a half, 2 years, so the animation team has more time to work on it, okay. Yeah,
That's something, man. I learned that type. I have to dealing with animation. It's like it's a hate and love relationship because that's where I'm out. Like when you into specific type of animes and like dealing with the animation and the fighting choreography, and you don't want them to rehash like certain like fighting sequences. It's like it takes about like up to like 2 to 4 years. That's where I'm at with like this is one anime that I watch called like Boruto Next Generations, and then it did transition to Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, and it's just kind of like a lot of people, the fan base is kind of like, where's the freaking anime at? Because they only do like manga like once a month.
Yeah.
And compared to others, it's like it's releasing like weekly, and a lot of people are kind of like the manga is good, but it's just kind of like when are you guys going to get back to the anime? And it's like they said, well, it's probably going to take about up to like 2 to 4 years, and I'm just kind of like, damn.
Yeah,
at that point.
I recently saw season 2 of Attack on Titan, and it's been 4 years since season 1, and I learned season 3 is just like 1 or 2 years, but then the fourth and final season was split over what, like 2 to 4 years, meaning the entire show, despite only being 4 seasons, was spread over 10 years. But you know what? The animation style so far has been really good.
Yeah.
I mean,
the quality.
Yeah. Like I said, I do like if they spend their time doing it. Though with season 4, I don't like when they split entire seasons. That I have a problem with.
That's the worst. That's the worst.
Yeah.
And then sometimes what creators do, they take like breaks in between. Well, it's just like, well, we're going to be going on vacation, so we can. They say vacation, but really they're going to go work on like movies of it for like marketing and like other stuff like that. So yeah.
I mean,
when you do anime, you learn how to be patient.
I mean, if they're going to do that, fine, but don't release part 1 of your work. Like release it when you're done. Like here's a teaser for what I'm going to do.
Right. Yeah.
Nah. Anyway, I mean, I know sitcoms and shows that are on from the September, October through May schedule. I know they take breaks, like during Thanksgiving, there's like a week off. During Christmas, there's like 3 to 4 weeks off. Spring break, I get that, I do. But like that's a like consistent schedule. A lot of shows do that. That schedule I understood, But like when you have the full season and it's only like 8 episodes, like Invincible season 2, they took like I think 3-ish months off. So 4 episodes and then a few months and then 4 episodes. I was like, bro, like come on, man.
I mean, that's real risky because I'm like, man, at that point, it's kind of like when you have breaks like that, it's kind of like you kind of start to distort like the momentum, and it's kind of like shoot, you kind of lose like, man, whatever.
Yeah, like
at that. Dang.
With something like that, I'd be worried that someone would forget my show exists.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
But like I'll put it to you this way: 2.5 years already passed since season 1. Okay, here's 4 episodes. I'll be back in a couple months. Like I almost missed the announcement that part 2 of that season was coming. And I'm somebody that's usually on top of this stuff.
Wow, that's nice.
So imagine casual fans. Some people probably went like another 6 months before they learned that season 2 had ended.
That's very.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, you talked about the theater experience and how it is important. The last thing I wanted to talk about today was the most recent example of why we need the theater experience.
Yes.
So, a couple months ago, I saw Five Nights at Freddy's, and I had never interacted with the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise before. I saw the first movie at home with my brother like a week earlier. So when I went into that theater, people were reacting to things that like I didn't get because I didn't know any of the lore or any of the fun Easter eggs. People were cheering. People were happy. I mean, it was like watching a Marvel or Star Wars film, except I wasn't in on a lot of it. I was like, oh my god, this is what a casual Marvel fan feels like. Except being somebody that loves franchises, I didn't feel disincluded. I felt like somebody that wanted to get into it, you know? Anyway.
Yeah, it motivates you, yeah.
Anyway, so recently I saw a film based on real life that actually had similar reactions. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
You know, you gotta give it up for the king of pop, guys.
Michael!
Oh my... Dude, there were scenes where people were clapping and singing along, and I didn't... Because the theater was already loud, I don't know if that was in the movie, or if that was the actual theater I was in.
Yeah.
And...
Bro, that?
I welled up three times in the movie. I welled up, and the only time like a tear actually escaped my eye was at the very end where he performing Bad. Like I felt it, like, cause I do not go to concerts. I do not go to music concerts, but Michael Jackson is one of the only people I would have gone to see in person.
Heck yeah.
And
1,000, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I was 7 years old when he died, so obviously that never happened. Unfortunately, never gonna happen. So seeing the full performance of Bad at the end, I think is like the closest I'll ever get to experiencing that with the crowd. Yeah. And yeah, like some tears got loose.
Yeah, it was, bro. It was very emotional. I feel like I'm trying to see how we gonna set up. I'm like, I think let's start off like what was some key takeaways, like what was your favorite scenes? And then we'll hold on, let me get my hold on, let me grab hold on, give me like 1 minute, bro, because I took a heck of notes. Real. Oh my goodness.
You know what? Let's start with the beginning of his story. You can still hear me, yeah?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So obviously they start with when he's a kid singing with his brothers, and they obviously do show his dad beating him, which, you know, Michael was not necessarily open about, but he did talk about it, and so did his brothers. And yeah, the scene where he's getting beaten with the belt, and you could like hear Michael like yelling out about it, like, oh man, that was harsh, but I mean that's the way his dad was. I do. Is it Coleman Domingo, right? Like that's the guy who played his father. Like I do.
Yes.
I do like the actor. Like he is such a cool dude. I love him in so many of the projects I see him on. I think the other one that he's on right now is Euphoria. Like the actor is the kind of guy you would just want to sit in a cafe with, you know, and just talk with.
Yeah.
Seeing him as the dad is a little harder, but I think they made him look different enough that I can separate the person or character from the actor.
Yeah. Yeah. The makeup. Right.
Yeah. They covered some stuff, like, you know, Michael's nose. They slightly touched on his skin condition. We didn't fully go into it because obviously the film ends in, I think, 88. So we didn't go into the early 90s where it started to become visible. I'm glad that they included I Want You Back. From all the Jackson 5 songs, that's the one that I wanted. They also included ABCs, which I'm also glad. That would have been my second pick to include from the Jackson 5. I'm glad they included both. Billie Jean, I knew they had to include it. I mean, it's Billie Jean.
Billie Jean.
I always knew that in Beat It, he had actual gang members in his video. Because, like, he wanted to show, like, actual unity. So the fact that he got actual gang members was great. And I was like, I wonder if they're going to portray that in the film. And they did. I mean, they portrayed it as happening a lot more natural than it probably did, but...
Yep.
Okay, one of the things that people cheered for, because, you know, if you know the Michael Jackson lore, it's when he's picking the name for his album. Now, like, if you know the lore, you know that Thriller is one of the best-selling albums of all time, if not the best. I don't know. I think it is. So...
It's top two. Top two for sure.
Yeah, so when he moves that Thriller card, me and so many others were like, wow, like, yeah, that's the one. And I know the director knew we would cheer for that. The way that he, like, slowly did. Another thing that people cheered for was when you zoom up and you see bubbles. We know the lore. We know the lore.
Yeah, man. Man, I think one of my like, just to expound on that, like one of my favorite scenes that I love was that scene that he did with Beat It, and I didn't know the historical context on that he actually invited like Bloods, like Pyru Bloods and Crips on set for his video for Beat It. I never knew that. And I'm kind of like, because I grew up in South Central LA, where gangs were birthed, and I didn't know that Michael Jackson literally went out of his way and did like a whole coordination set for Beat It of bringing two gangs like together. I didn't know that, because when I was watching it with my mom, like, did you know? She was like nah, I never knew that. And I was just watching a video earlier of dealing with a record label guy that had a close relationship with him. Like, I think the record label company that he was with at the time actually had this guy sign an NDA to not take pictures with them because he was a gang member, and Michael was just like nah, like watch out, like don't mind them. And a lot of people, I just found this out yesterday, but Michael Jackson is actually an honorarium Crip. So it's just bro, I literally didn't, bro. This came out way before AI, bro. I'm telling you. This is the picture, like, right here, bro, of him throwing up the C.
No, I've seen that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like that we see the creation of some of these albums. I think the Beat It one is my personal favorite of the ones that, in terms of behind the scenes. Beat It is obviously my favorite because of the real life story behind it. Of the ones we've seen, I do have one I like even more, but I'll tell you in a bit. And I do like that we see behind the scenes of Thriller. Obviously, the most famous music video of all time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And
definitely.
Man, like when he was like looking at the TV and he was seeing like a classic scary film, I was like, oh, it's happening. It's going down. Thriller is coming. Come on. And oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I'll probably say, I think one of my, and we talked about this last time in episode 9. I said I want them to have something, not really something to do with Prince, but to have like a little Easter egg. And it was, I don't know whether you remember this scene or not.
No,
I guess
I know the line because they actually have that exact same line in the MJ play. And I think I actually told you that line in episode 9. Yeah. So he wants to. Yeah, he wants to like do some. It's one of the few things I remember from the play.
Tell it. Go ahead.
All right. So in the play / also in the movie, he wants to do something big and ambitious, and they're talking about, oh, like, no, like, it's never been done, it might cost a lot of money, we don't know how we're gonna do it, and he's like, no, like, I have to do it, because otherwise God's gonna give the idea to Prince. That line of dialogue is straight from the play, and I love that they lifted it from the play into the film, because like I said, it's one of the few things I vividly remember from the play. If I was writing the movie, that is definitely a line I'd include, and I'm glad that they did. Sorry, I'm saying a lot. I said a lot in the episode 9 re-recording as well. Anyway, what was I gonna say? The dancing, the singing. I think Jafar killed it. If I'm being honest. Yeah. Why am I saying if I'm being honest? Like, it's not a controversial opinion. I think he killed it.
Yeah. Jafar nailed it, and even the young actor as well too. And one of the things that I love, one of the things that I love about this film is that they actually gave like certain hints, because for me, I grew up in a black household, so like when you're dealing with old school music and you're dealing with like Motown, like you're dealing with the Temptations, the Four Tops, the OJs. The Charlie Wilsons, the James Brown, and like you see those certain influences in Michael's dancing from an early start.
Yeah,
and that's one of the key things that I've loved. I'm like, oh man, this is like, bro, this is clean. I love how they like threw that in there, for sure.
I feel like they also, in some ways, took inspiration from Bohemian Rhapsody. Because you also see those same beats in Bohemian Rhapsody, where something just kind of like happens, or he takes inspiration from somewhere, and then it becomes part of the iconic version that we know. One of my favorite is when he's having trouble with the mic, so he just lifts it up, and I mean the frame rests there for a second, and that's where you get the famous Freddie playing with the mic, and it's just part of the way he always was. So they had beats similar to that. Another way in which I think Bohemian Rhapsody influenced it was, as silly as it sounds, going from one popular song to the next, just like nostalgia hitting you, and then more nostalgia hitting you. I mean, it sounds stupid on paper, like it sounds very repetitive, with a strand of conflict in between. It sounds stupid on paper, but in execution, I think it was pretty good. I mean, Bohemian Rhapsody was nominated for Best Picture. I still think it should have won.
Yeah, I think whatchamacallit should have won Best Actor that year. Rami Malek. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but
I think he did.
He won?
I think he won, yeah.
Okay, good. Because he definitely deserved that.
I mean, I love these musical biopics: Runaways, Bohemian Rhapsody, Rocket Man, Walk the Line, Elvis, Springsteen. I haven't seen the Bob Dylan one yet. A Complete Unknown. I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna get there.
Oh.
And then Michael. Okay. After the movie, I'm not sure if you saw on Discord. I think you did. I sent you an image that said Michael Jackson will return in Avengers Doomsday. Okay, so I mean, I shouldn't have to say spoiler at this point. If you guys are still listening and you haven't seen Michael, we've already spoiled so much of it for you, so I'm not worried about that anymore. It ends where it says his story continues. Now, it could just be that, like, oh, he lives on in here, He lives on in here. But critics are kind of hating on the film for not touching on the controversies that plagued his later life. Like, the last 2 decades of his life, the film doesn't cover.
And that's something... Oh, shoot, my bad. No, go ahead.
Thanks. So, as soon as I saw that, yes, initially I was like, oh, he lives on in here. They're just cutting it off before the controversial stuff because they don't want to stain his image. And plus, who knows if some of that stuff actually happened. I mean, okay, I'll get into that in a sec, but I think that part 2 is a possibility. And what I would call it is simply Jackson.
Ooh.
Michael and then Jackson. And this film, this year's film, it was witness the rise of the king. Like witness his genius, yada yada. Like the rise of the king was basically the theme of this episode. This movie. Why do I keep saying episode? I think the tagline for the next one could be "Witness the fall of a legend."
Yeah.
Because anyway, so I'm very much aware of the Neverland accusations. I'm very much aware of the allegations regarding him and children. But with the recent release of the files, certain files, I don't want to get too political here. He might finally be exonerated. It sounds like he was trying to save kids from what was going on, but because of how powerful was, like, around the world, they flipped the story on him. And I gotta say, like, it sounds so conspiracy theory, but these past 5 years, how many conspiracy theories have turned out to be true?
Man, listen. That's when I was one of the things I'm really happy about, because I'm like, this movie, I'm gonna say this movie, like I said, this movie, you weren't gonna get any extra new type of tea to talk about. This movie, this biopic was just a memorial celebration from one of the greatest entertainers of all time. Because when I came to previewing, I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, are they gonna touch on the allegations, the things that happened with with McCalloway, Neverland, and dealing with the kids and stuff like that?
I think we talked about it too. Like, how are they going to deal with that, especially in light of the new information we have?
Yeah, and when I came into it, I was doing some research, and there was already some lawsuit allegations to where some people wanted to put that into the film. Were like regarding that. And one of the things that I noticed in the credits is that the 5 executive producers were basically his family, his brothers and sisters and so forth. They they had a lot of impact on what was going to be told within the film and so forth. And I'm just so happy that they focused on the premise of
escaping his father.
Them dealing with Joe. And him really branching out and transcending into a solo artist, of having a huge impact in pop culture. But one of the I'll put it like this, because I will say this. I'll say the movie was good. The movie was entertaining, but I'm not going. The movie was good. I loved it. But there was some chronological timelines that didn't kind of fit, that weren't sufficient, and I ain't gonna sit here and lie, there was a lot of pivotal moments that I feel they could have threw in there. You get what I'm saying? Because
no,
a whole bunch.
You finish.
Go ahead. No. Go ahead, because we gonna bounce off each other.
Sorry, I thought of another Bohemian Rhapsody beat. Having Mike Myers there as another record producer. Although this one is in stark contrast to the one he played in Bohemian Rhapsody. Like, in Bohemian Rhapsody, he was the record producer, oh, you guys, you're gonna give me a 6-minute song? Oh, you guys suck. No. Oh, you think you're gonna do great without me? You really think so? Okay, we'll see. This one, stark contrast. He is on Michael's side. And this is real life. He threatened to pull all the other artists from MTV if they didn't put on Billie Jean. That is based on real life. So yeah. I like that. I just like that they got Mike Myers to play him.
Oh my gosh, bro. That scene was freaking fantastic, bro. Very fantastic. I don't know why. Well, yeah, I'll touch on that later, but yeah.
Okay, another thing that I told you this, something I was dreading to see, but luckily it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Still hard to watch, but was the Pepsi commercial. And like I knew it was coming too, like I saw in the trailer where he's getting out of the ambulance, but like earlier in the movie where Joe is saying like, oh, like that's our Coca-Cola, like we're not gonna start doing like Pepsi and stuff. We're the Coca-Cola, and I was like, oh, like it's already alluding to it. And then later on, when the guy says, oh, he'll do a Pepsi commercial, I was like, oh no. And then we enter the scene with the fire. Like, oh man, like half a second, I thought we were just skipping right to when it happened, like the very second. But they were just practicing, and then he goes back up, and then they do it again, and everyone in the theater, like when you saw it like land on his head, everyone was like, "Oh."
Those third degree burns really, like they did a number on him, and that was kind of like the start and the inclination of him really like dealing with pain.
Yeah, and
like managing it.
Yeah, and then he had to start taking like pills to sleep, and like I said, this has to have a part 2. There is so much in this dude's life that they have to do a part 2, and I know critics are just being very harsh because, we're not covering any of the controversies yet, but I'm telling them, guys, we're not covering those years, and it's very likely we're going to get a part 2. So this is just half of the story. Don't grade it like a complete essay. Grade it like the beginning of the essay.
That's interesting.
And anyway, and then with the Pepsi thing, it's another one of those examples of why you should always have a fire extinguisher when dealing with pyrotechnics. I mean, people were going over and they were just patting him on the head. I mean, like where's the fire extinguisher, dude?
He was spinning and everything, and I'm just kind of like that victory tour. Like I was talking with my mom, and she was like, around that particular time, like Michael was pissed. Like he didn't want, like, no offense, like I'm not saying that he didn't want nothing to do with his brothers, but he was just so focused and just transcending and becoming his own, because the music that was on him at that particular time, he wanted to get it out.
Yeah.
And then Joe teaming up with Don King, who was the promoter for Mike Tyson. He was a scam artist. Michael really didn't trust him, and then I think that was like, this happened right after the success after like Off the Wall, I believe. And the only reason why he did it was because of his mom, Catherine, because him and Catherine, which they showed great in the movie, that they had a real close relationship. But I'm not even gonna sit here and lie though. Like there was a lot of key pivotal moments that they missed that they should have touched on. And I feel like the movie was good, don't get me wrong, but let me put it like this. Okay, one example is when Michael bought the ATV publishing from the Beatles.
Oh yeah. And then fractured his relationship with them. Or with McCartney. He fractured his relationship with McCartney that way.
And he outbidded him, and he got access to 250 songs, and then like over like 4,000 songs that they did with samples that they use in movies in 1985, which was so big because he could have instantaneously retired off of that. And I feel like that's one of the reasons why they put some allegations on him, because
you know what? Actually, that would be a good way to start part 2. Because, like we said, part 1 is just about him breaking away from his family, and especially breaking away from his dad. Like, as soon as I saw that, like, once we were at the hour and a half point, and I realized the entire film has basically just been him breaking away, I knew that the climax was probably going to be when he made that announcement on stage that it was their final tour, because that was real. Him announcing it live that it was their final tour. I was like, oh, that's probably going to be like the end of the movie. I mean, I'm glad that they did a bad performance after that, but like I knew that was going to be the end. And yes, I do know about the whole thing with the Beatles, mid 80s. Obviously, around this time, the movie is ending in the mid 80s with bad. It ends in 88. I think 88. And
Yeah.
so I'm thinking part 2 could go back slightly to touch on that, and that introduces when controversy first entered his life, and then
Ooh.
keep going. Like there could be like an overlap, like this, right? Like this is part 2, this is part 1. There could be. It doesn't have to follow one right after the other. There could be some overlap, because the themes of the movie, if there's a part 2, the 2 themes would be different: breaking away from his family, going solo, and then the controversial years and his unfortunate death. Was he killed? At this point, people are actually debating if he was killed. Now, I think, I mean, I don't want to wait too many years before I see a part 2 if it happens, but I think they should wait, because all this new information is coming out, so perhaps they should wait just a little bit, just to see what was up, you know? Like, they
I'll probably give it about. I'll say like 2. I'll probably say like 2 to 3 years.
Yeah. Although another way that they could go about it is leave it ambiguous as to like why he died. Like, you know, like maybe do his like final performance, and then he goes off into a hotel, and then we follow somebody else, and then they're hearing, oh my god, like Michael Jackson's like overdosing or like dying, and then you hear that he dies. Like, have you ever seen Succession?
No, I've never seen it.
Okay, so I'm not gonna say who, but a big character of the show dies, but we're not with them when they die. We get it from the perspective of other people who are not there. Like, they're just learning about it, like over the phones and stuff like that. Like, an entire episode of that, and it's one of the best episodes of television I've ever seen. They could do that with Michael. So, like, if there was something suspicious going on and somebody did intentionally kill him, or whether or not it really was just an accident, it has that ambiguity that it could go either way, because we don't know. So I think the film should maybe present it that way. We don't know if it was intentional or it really was just a really unfortunate accident.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. Because I'm like, when you start, because I'm like 1980, like after 1985, that's when he was like his prime pinnacle, like success. Like he has a lot of power, a lot of influence, and you mentioned the ATV publishing, and then him like dealing with buying like Sony's having ownership in that, and he almost. And I'm like, man, he almost bought Spider-Man from Marvel.
Oh, do you remember he wanted to make a Spider-Man film? Oh, man, that's one of my favorite behind-the-scenes stories. Or, another thing that would be funny to include was when he worked on Men in Black. Like, I'm not sure if you heard the behind-the-scenes, but he kept getting the character's name wrong. They're like, no, his name is what was it, like Zeeb or something like that? Something like that. And he's like, yo Zeke. No, Michael. His name is yada yada yada. Yo Zeke. And some of the comments are like, they probably should have just left that in, because wouldn't it be hilarious if he just actually called him Zeke? Yeah.
Another thing that I will say, what I kind of noticed dealing with the beats, like, from the transition of from like when he was Jackson 5, and then him being like the family moving out to like LA and so forth, where it positions him like looking out of the window, I was just kind of like, during that point I was kind of like, something's off. And one of the things that I realized is that, because I know the director, he's the one that did Training Day with Denzel Washington, and I know how he transitions things. And I'm just kind of like, man, that something don't seem right. And one of the things that I noticed, that I identified, was that Diana Ross, that was supposed to be played by Kat Graham, she's the one that played Jada Pinkett in the Tupac biopic picture a couple of years ago. She's done a lot of work. Phenomenal actress. There was actually some legal allegations of Diana Ross potentially suing this film of, against the biopic, because a lot of people were saying that they put these pedophilia allegations on Mike, but they say the real one was really her, because if you understand, like earlier in his career, Michael, as far as like his like the love dynamic of his relationship, he had a huge crush on this phenomenal singer Diana Ross. And bro, like she was like 10 years older than him, and like she was like on the Supremes, and like took a lot of influence and inspiration. He loved her dearly, and
Right.
almost got married to her. And they took probably like, I'll say like 25 to 30 minutes of that, like they took that out of the film. And I was just kind of like, I knew something kind of, I just knew something just felt weird, because
I
I'm just
think
kind of like, he missing some points with Studio 54.
now I still think that a part two could cover that, because again, that plays in, or a trilogy. I mean, I still think a trilogy might be pushing it. Like, I think there's enough material for 3 hours. So I think a really long part two instead of two short follow ups. I would prefer like a 3 hour part two. But the Diana Ross thing I think totally would fit into the controversial stuff that
Yeah.
part two could cover. And again, there could be overlap.
Yeah. It's bro. It's kind of like the biopic was good. It's just kind of like, bro. It's a lot of things that they miss. And another thing I liked about the film was how really inspired. I think if Michael was still living today, I think Michael will be a filmmaker, because after he would have done the This Is It tour,
Yeah.
he was a go ahead.
Yeah, he also never called his music videos music videos. He called them short films. And I love, like, it's a small detail, but when he says, "I'm going to put you all in my short film," I love that they said short film. Cuz yeah, he very much had an appreciation for film and theater, and you could see that with a lot of his entrances too. Like, do you remember the one where he like comes out of the spaceship? Like, that one was so good. And oh, if they do a part two of all the entrances he ever does, I really want them to do his entrance during the Dangerous tour. You know, where he pops out of the ground and then just stands there, and like he doesn't move for a minute. People just keep on cheering. Turns his head, people keep on cheering, and then he just like slowly removes his sunglasses as he just like dead eyes, just
Oh my gosh, bro.
like Michael Jackson is one of the few people ever to exist where he could just pop onto a stage, do nothing for 2 minutes, and people will cheer for him the entire time.
I'm like, and I was laughing in the theater, because I told my mom, I was like, bruh, I said, this entertainer literally had dudes passing out. I said, man, wait, what? I was like, bro, I lost it. I'm like, no, are you serious? Mom was like, yup.
Yeah, he was the most famous person in the world for a period of time.
Yeah. And to go back to the filming aspect.
Yeah.
One of the things, as I said, the reason why I believe he will be a phenomenal filmmaker is because one of the things that set off the trend of him doing films, he actually was in this movie called The Wiz.
The Wiz? Yeah, The Wiz.
Why did they not put that in there, bro? That was one of his most like pivotal projects that he worked on as an actor, singer, and it showed how much versatility that Mike had. And that set it off, because The Wiz actually inspired another project that came later after Billie Jean and Thriller. It was like this partnership that Mike did with Disney, and this was like transcending in Disney World, Disney Resort, and all that type of stuff, and going out to Tokyo. It was called and I'm happy I got to experience this. that my auntie took me. I believe that was 2013 to Disneyland to go see to also to go the theme parks and stuff, but to go see Captain Eco. And Captain Eco was a production that collaborated George Lucas, which was like this 17-minute film sci-fi that was executive produced by George Lucas and also by Francis Coppola that did
Yeah, The
Godfather.
Godfather and Apocalypse Now.
And if we talking about like the 80s, these are like the biggest, like, bro, this is a pinnacle project, bro. And it started, it would have transitioned nicely to the bad performance. It's because some of the song was recorded. I forgot the name of the song, but it goes like this: it's just another part of me. I'm gonna play it, but bro, Captain
I
Eco, I'm like,
I under
man,
I do think that from what it sounds like, it does deserve to be shown. But again, I understand why it wouldn't be in the first film, or at least not where it would be, because the momentum of the end of the film is the announcement that he's breaking away, the final announcement to his dad, I'm going off on my own, accept it.
yeah,
Cuts to the bad tour, like it kept a certain momentum. Again, I want to say they could cover it in a second film, but I don't want that to just become. I don't want to sound like a broken record. Like, oh, they could do that in the second film. Oh, they could do that in a second film. This one definitely sounds more like, because the previous two examples had to do with like controversy. The McCartney, Diana Ross.
the
Obviously, both of
allegation.
those would fit. Yeah, both of those, all of those would fit in the second film. Captain Aiko, this one. Mm,
But the reason why I say that essentially is because I feel like the film, what they could have went more in depth with is that Michael, they could have transitioned to like a Michael being a well-known singer, and then him like stepping into like him being like a freaking icon, like
legendary status.
like legendary status. Would have transitioned nicely into a second film of dealing with like the Beatles and so forth, because that 1983 to
Oh,
like going to the 1985, bro,
oh,
that mess with, bro, that mess
oh!
was heat.
I know how they can start it. Start it with the Captain Aiko thing. We're going back a little bit, and then right after have the McCartney stuff. And then that introduces the McCartney and Diana Ross stuff. Introduces us into controversy, and then that takes us through the rest of the film. That's the way to do it. Uh, Antoine, if you are listening, we're spitting ideas here, so we're spitting ideas right now. So like, listen up, you know.
And I and I was so and bro, and the reason why I was so surprised by that, because I'm like, you even had like the hidden detail, well, not hidden detail, it wasn't hidden, but those intricate details of like him, like, because they say, oh, the reason why Michael um did his first surgery concerning his rhinopathy was because of the Peter Pan. That wasn't like he that inspired Neverland on why he wanted to
Yeah,
do that. But the essential reason why is because when he was like working and collaborating with Quincy Jones, when he was collaborating with that, he for his solo album, he was freaking, when he does like his rehearsals, he goes freaking hard.
yeah.
Cause the first surgery that he had, he broke his nose. That it was due to a dance rehearsal that he did, that he fell on his face, because now since he's not doing the same dance moves that he was with it, now he's doing more advanced stuff. These spins and on his toes and all this type, like all that type of stuff. So speaking of,
Very quickly. They also need a second film because we got to see that iconic lean. All right, keep
oh
going.
my,
All right, keep going.
bro, that's a freaking another point.
Anyway, so
And then
his nose.
yeah, because the first surgery, it happened due to a dance rehearsal, not Peter Pan. And also the first surgery that they did, it failed. And so he had to get, another one. And this is around the time sequence of where he was going, like he was finishing like he was trying to when he was working on his next album. that was taking him from like the 70 late 70s and like into like the 80s and so forth. And that's the so that was the precise reason behind it on why he got that second surgery. So that's the real story behind it for the principal photography. But yeah, there was something else too, but I'm gonna kick it off to you. It's gonna come back to me. You have anything else? It's so much.
Regarding Peter Pan, the role that Peter Pan plays in his life is he looks up to Peter Pan because this is someone who loved being a kid so much that he stayed in Neverland because he always wanted to be a kid. Like,
hit it, Phil, hit it.
yeah. Whereas Michael Jackson, he always felt his childhood was taken from him. Like he never lived an actual childhood. And part of the Neverland Ranch and having kids on was he wanted to experience a childhood living vicariously through them. I mean, he never really got to do normal things. There's a story about how they emptied an entire supermarket so that he could experience shopping on his own. And yeah, his friends were there and like disguised as like regular people so that he could experience shopping without it being like a completely deserted store.
That's wild.
And yeah, I do love. I mean, they had to include Peter Pan, and not just. I mean, towards the end, you see he's looking at the name Neverland. Obviously, it's there to like, give the implication like, oh, Neverland's gonna happen. Neverland's gonna happen. But the role Peter Pan plays in his life is he sees a character living out his entire life in a way that he never had. He was a kid, yes, but his childhood was full of beatings, getting pushed into rehearsals, singing in originally some sketchy places, but then on TV, and then he was a star, and then people were like always loving him. They do touch on the film where it is hard for him to make friends because all the other kids just want to take pictures of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he never really got to be normal. And I don't know, maybe sorry, I think I've said everything I want to say, otherwise I'm just gonna keep repeating the same thing different ways.
Regurgitating.
Yeah.
Well, let me try to go ahead and give you something new then. One of the things that I got from the trailer that I thought they were going to expound on was that the pinnacle success of Billie Jean, on how that came about. Now, when you look at the 25th anniversary of Motown, during that particular time, it was a celebration of like all the artists from like in Motown from like Detroit and so forth. Yeah. So at that particular event, like, some of the huge hitters that you had present, you had Stevie Wonder, and they even touched on the song with Smokey Robinson, which they thought Michael created, which came from him. And then they had Diana Ross, which was present. The Temptations were there, and even Marvin Gaye. And at that particular time, concerning the 25th anniversary, it was supposed to just originally it was supposed to just be each artist having his own set. Michael wasn't originally supposed to have his own soloist performance, but he told Berry Gordy, he says, the only way I'm going to do this and set myself apart from Joe and from the Jackson 5 and fully transition into my own is if I do this soloist. And based off the success of of his previous album, Berry Gordy was, since he's like a producer and stuff like that, he's like, all right, Michael, let's do it. And that's how Billie Jean came into place, in him doing the moonwalk and him first introducing of being on his toes. And Mike was so much of a perfectionist that he was literally crying behind the scenes after his performance. Michael thought his performance was bad. He was literally backstage crying and upset because he didn't stand on his toes long enough, and he thought he messed up. But that performance is one of the greatest Showtime's display of like all
Well,
time.
the thing is, Michael Jackson is just on a different level. Like you said, he's a perfectionist, so he oftentimes didn't recognize that what he was doing was incredible. Like in his own mind, because
Oh,
in his own mind, he was like born into like level 11. Like you have to be this, you have to be perfect. Joe obviously beat that into him. You have to be above all this. You have to be up here. You have to be up here. So
yeah,
anything that he felt wasn't like incredible, he thought was bad. But the thing is, everything is already level 11 to us regular mortals. Everything you're doing is already up here. It's not higher than you think.
yeah.
You think it's bad because it's down here, but you're already at a higher level. And one of my favorite comments of all time regarding Michael Jackson is I forget which video it was. I think it was under I want to say it was under Earth Song. It no, it was under Butterflies. I think it said
Uh,
even Michael Jackson's filler songs are better than some artists' top performing
Hit.
songs. Yeah, are better
yes,
than
yeah,
some performers' hits. You're right. That's what it said. And it's true. Like his performance, the way he just draws you in, like be it with his voice or his performance and the singing or the visuals that he gives you. It's
yeah.
it's just incredible. Oh, that actually takes me to one video I did want to see. Again, when I first entered the movie, I didn't know it was going to end in 88, so obviously this wasn't going to happen. But if there's a part 2, the making of They Don't Care About Us, namely when he and Spike Lee recorded it in Rio de Janeiro, like it has one of the best stories I think I've ever heard. Where okay, so they went there and Michael wanted this certain street and Spike agreed with him. I'm not sure if you've seen that music video,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
him and all
yeah.
the people with the drums and anyway, they want yeah, they wanted that specific street. But the thing is that was gang territory. So Spike Lee and they were like, "Okay, you know what? We're actually going to talk with the guy that runs these streets.
Yeah,
Like, can you escort us there? Can you take us to him?" And oh my god, the police were like, "Hell no! Like, we're not even gonna enter his territory." Like, that's how bad it was. Like, that's how scared they were. And Spike Lee, I'm telling you, this guy's spine, incredible. He's like, all right. So he went, talked to the guy himself. Like, he went there himself, talked to the guy himself, and the guy, amazingly, or maybe not so amazingly, it's Michael Jackson after all. The guy was a Michael fan, so he's like, "Oh yeah, you know what? You wanna make a video here? Yeah, you know what?" And some of the things he said was incredible. He's like, "Okay, like he's a Michael Jackson fan, right? So while you're here, those streets will be the safest place on earth. Like trust me. You could leave $1 million. You could leave all your film equipment on the street. Everybody will be too scared to take it." Like,
bro. Oh, yep.
I mean, I don't want to. If any gang leaders are listening, please don't kill me. I'm not a fan of gang leaders, but I gotta say, I respect that dude for that.
Yeah.
I gotta respect that because I mean, I mean, like I said, maybe it's not so incredible to think that he was a Michael Jackson fan because Michael had fans everywhere. Michael has fans that aren't even born yet, you know. So
Exactly. Generations of fans yet to come.
yeah, so I don't know, but it's just one of those times where I think Michael forgets how like he knows he's popular, but I think he forgets how much sway he actually has. And I think it's one of those moments where Spike Lee realized how much sway Michael's name actually has. And yeah, they filmed it, and I mean, personally, I think it's one of the best music videos I've ever seen. I mean, you've seen that one, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's him on the roof, but yeah, him on the street. And let me see if I can get those shots of him with the people. I'm not gonna play the audio because otherwise this video is gonna get flagged.
Man, I think true. I think that song. I think that song is up there with "Man in the Mirror," bro.
Oh look,
Because
you have
that
people.
song.
You have people who just commented in the past few days. Like anybody here from 2 days ago, 1 day ago, and then 14 hours ago. But
It's
yeah,
Martha.
with the drums, I mean,
Malcolm X, he brought up Martin Luther. Malcolm X, man, listen. Michael knew. Mike, I think at that time, Phil, Michael already knew what agenda was at foreplay. I'm telling you, he already knew it was at foreplay.
skinhead,
I said,
deadhead, everybody gone bad, situation, aggravation, everybody allegation in the suite, on the news, everybody dog food, bang bang, shock dead, everybody's gone mad. All I want to say is that they don't really care about us. All I want to say is that they don't really care. I love that song. The first time I heard it was only 4 or 5 years ago, and I'm disappointed that it took me that long to hear that song. I mean, obviously I grew up with Thriller, Bad, Beat It, Billie Jean, I Want You Back. I grew up with all of those. I'm disappointed I didn't hear about this song until 5 years ago.
yeah, that those songs, "Man in the Mirror" and "They Don't Really
Oh,
Care
Man in
About
the
Us."
Mirror.
That those songs, I'm telling you, people's like, no, Mike was in tune with his history, and it was this on another thing. I wish they could have threw in there, which would have been pivotal because Michael actually had this idea to bring all the Motown artists, not just Motown, all the artists together, and where they did "Heal the World,"
Heal the
where
World.
they did that huge event, and they don't a charity foundation of $30 million to Africa, and they asked Prince like, hey, let's bring Prince on board, and the usual Prince, no, I'm not doing, I'm not doing it. But if they would have done something, if they would have brought healed the world in with all the different other type of artists with Mike,
Oh,
I would have
that would have made history. That would have made history.
cinema history, bro. That's like easy, like 25 to like 50 years of like cinema history of dealing with all those artists.
Oh, you kidding? They'd be talking about that 300 years from now.
Bro, I'm telling you.
Nah, but yeah, a lot of those songs from later on, again, in a second film dealing with controversy, again, since it would be about Michael, you got to understand, like, he knew that this controversy was going on, but he was still trying to put out love and understanding. So yeah, obviously include those songs: Earth Song, They Don't Really Care About Us, Man in the Mirror, oh my god, what's the one you just said, Heal the World. Do all those.
Yep.
Oh, and of course include his Super Bowl halftime show. I mean, before Michael Jackson, they had some performances, yeah, but it was usually something that people back at home would like take a break, go to the bathroom, maybe get some more food. Michael Jackson turned it into a show, and now for many people it is the main reason they tune in.
Yep. He started the trend of making the Super Bowl a marketing phenomenon.
Yeah.
He started that trend right off the bat.
Yeah, and
Like,
there have been some really good performances since then, of course. Like most recently, the Bad Bunny one was it was the most viewed one ever because some people had to make it political, but
oh shit.
and I love that Bad Bunny also decided to focus his on peace and understanding, and everybody has their own background, but we're all the same. Like I'm not gonna say that's directly inspired by Michael Jackson, but it feels like it's very much in tune with it. And obviously, he threw in his Latino identity in there as well, because that's his background.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just love it when artists recognize the power of their music and they use it to unify people. And Michael Jackson, he was a pioneer at that.
Bro, oh my gosh. I'm so like, since we're having like this conversation, bro, I'm just kind of like, I've never fully did an assessment and fully realized like if he was still living today and if we would have got to see that, that this is it, his last tour, and he would have retired, like what would have came from that? That would have been like, because people going crazy off his hologram and stuff like that. But
Post
him,
post This Is It. Like you said, I think he might have moved on to movies, but keeping in line with his belief and his ideals, I think he would have tried to make social commentary films and
that,
comedies
yeah,
and comedies, probably social commentary comedies, because like Spike Lee still does that, right? With like Black Klansman from like 8 years ago, he's still doing that, like decades after doing Do the Right Thing. Michael Jackson would probably want to be making films like that, though of course with his own comedic touch.
yeah. That's funny that you mentioned that because I came up with an idea last night and I was like, I'm gonna ask this. Like, imagine if they came to you, right, and Michael is sitting across from you at like a conference at a meeting, right? And he's like, if you have a particular idea to turn one of my songs into a film, what song would you do?
They Don't Really Care About Us is the first one I think of. In terms of
Okay.
social commentary, that's the first one I think of. Second, Heal the World. Because Man in the Mirror is it, Man in the Mirror, I think, would actually be interesting. Maybe it would be somebody that's like viewing history and then decides to change it. Like maybe let's say a historian. Not so good of a person, but as he's reviewing history, he slowly begins to open up more, become a better person. That would probably be a good Man in the Mirror story.
Ooh, that would
Uh,
be good.
they Don't Really Care About Us. Obviously, that one would focus on somebody in third class trying to make their way up, but keeps getting punched down by the rich. Heal the World. That one, I think, that one has a lot of range. That could focus on a number of different
Yeah.
protagonists, or many at the same time. Because that one, of the three songs I said, that one's probably the most universal one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And yeah, sorry to say, Michael, but 17 years after your death, we're not any closer. In fact, we're further than ever. I'm very sorry you're gone, but I am happy you have not seen the last 10 years. You'd have been so disappointed in us.
Oh man. I say for me, I'll say a good hit will probably be for me I would do Liberian Girl.
Mm.
That one, like, the woman would go crazy. They would go crazy over that one. I'll say Liberian Girl. Thriller. That's an obvious one. So I'm not even going to.
He could, if he decided to turn that into a full length film, like a throwback to those early
Uh,
early like 70s 80s films.
yeah.
That I cannot speak to whether a full length film would be good, but because it's Michael Jackson, it would be successful.
Yeah.
Um,
Easily. And they had a good director for it as well too.
have you seen the full music video for Bad, like the full 18 minutes?
Yeah, with Wesley Snipes. Yeah.
Yeah, that I think has like if you hear the backstory of what that was inspired by, I think that could make a good film. Let's see what else. What else?
Cause he has so many good like actors and actresses like in his films
Have
for
you
sure.
have you seen the one where Eddie Murphy was a like a pharaoh?
Oh, remember the time?
Yeah. Speak.
I think
Sorry. Sorry, not to cut you off, but speaking of Eddie Murphy, one of my favorite Michael Jackson instances was where he's trying to speak into the remote, and then he asked Eddie Murphy if he could like fix the microphone, and he starts to, he's like, wait, you do it, and then he's like, here I am, like, I'm also a star, like, Michael, and then he just asked me to do it, and I'm like, yes, whatever you say, Michael. Like, I was actually doing it too.
He thought I was working for him. Everybody started cracking up, bro.
And then later on, I forget what show they were doing, but Eddie decided to, like, reference that again, where Michael's speaking into the remote, and Eddie, like, every half second, he's adjusting the microphone for those two had a good friendship. Those, they would have made a funny buddy comedy.
No, him, Eddie Murphy would have been a good one. But oh man, another person who has great stories is Chris Tucker. Oh my god, Michael was into rap. He was singing a Rick Ross song. Bro, oh my gosh, Chris Tucker. Oh my gosh, Chris Tucker got so many hilarious stories on Michael Jackson. It is ridiculous.
Oh my favorite story from Chris Tucker was when they snuck into a theater.
Yeah.
And like, Michael Jackson, he like snuck in some other way, dressed, and he's like, "Hey, Chris, whoa, what the hell? Like, how long you been here?" About 5 minutes. You know? And then he's like, and then we go into the theater, and Michael's the loudest one in there. You know, like, something happens, and then wait, I can't do it. I need water in my throat. But anyway, he's like, Michael, like, stop. You're gonna like get us caught. You know, people are gonna realize you're here. And then people are gonna swarm us. They're gonna be too loud. We're not gonna be able to watch a movie. Like, I'm sorry, Chris, but it was funny. You know. I love that story.
Oh man, see, that's how I said Mike was still living, bro. Man, I can see him doing so many projects for sure, bro. Yeah.
I think he would also turn up the dial on him being a troll. He was also really good at that.
Yeah. Oh, oh my gosh, this is phenomenal story, and I think we talked about this like a couple of episodes ago. Michael actually, I just found this out like 2 weeks ago. Michael actually trolled Prince. Remember, I was talking about when they first came together with James Brown at that particular 1980s. He literally trolled Prince so bad that night because Prince was drunk, and Michael told James Brown the reason why he wanted Prince to come up on stage because he knew Prince was drunk. And there was this particular part where Prince was kind of like hanging onto the pole, and he thought it was stable. And he literally almost like he fell off stage because Prince, he had aura, bro. Like, phenomenal. And then after the show, Prince literally tried to hit Michael Jackson with a car, bro. Oh my God, I'm telling you. And then this is not.
Would they really be friends if he didn't try?
Oh man. Then this is another story. I forgot what's the name of that artist. I got a feeling, ooh, that tonight's gonna be that. I think his name is no, I don't think it's Green Bean, but he's a black artist, and he went with Michael to Vegas, and it was actually a Prince event. And then he called Prince like, "Hey, can I go ahead and bring such and such?" And Prince was like, "Oh yeah, of course." And Prince planned something intentionally, and Prince can play every instrument. So as soon as he saw Chris Tucker, Green Bean, and then he saw Mike, Prince intentionally went up to Mike playing the bass, and he took his leg on top of the table and was just going ham. And then after the event was over, he told Chris Tucker and Green Bean, he was like, "Why was Prince go ahead and playing the bass like that in front of me?" And then, bro, oh my gosh. Oh, that mess was bro. The way how Green Bean tells the story is hilarious. I'm gonna send it to you, bro.
Oh,
and like, that mess is hilarious.
I just remembered something. Earlier I mentioned Hazbin Hotel, and I just remember a comment I read like a year and a half ago, like back when season 1 was still on. No, 2 years ago now. Somebody asked if Michael Jackson was still alive, do you think he would write or sing one song for them? And, like, I get where their head was at. Like, of all the cartoons doing musicals, Hazbin's obviously the biggest one. And I do get that Michael Jackson would evolve with the times. Like, whatever was going on, he would adjust his performances to keep up with them. Like, he was never staying in one era. He was moving through the eras with us. So part of me thinks he would do it if just to have fun. Like not to be like a constant presence, but maybe just like one. However,
Yeah.
however, I don't think he would. Not just because, um, like I know some people don't like Hazbin Hotel because it's pro LGBT. Some people don't like that it portrays hell, and then there are some other people that do not like the idea of cartoons cussing. Which, by the way, Hazbin didn't invent that. Like we've had cartoons cussing for a while now. But anyway, I think Michael Jackson wouldn't do it because, like you said, I think he would have retired and moved into like movies and television.
Yeah.
I mean, if they
100%.
if they brought him on, they'd have to have like a really good pitch for him, or let him have full creative control. Then yeah, maybe he would do one or two things musical. So I'm kind of leaning towards that 60-40. I think it would completely depend on how they pitch it and how much control they give him.
Yeah. It's man, that's kind of hard to say because I know that when he was, I think it took him like at least a year. I think when he was doing the This Is It tour, I think he took about, I think he was planning that for like 2 years or something like that, the rehearsals and everything. So I'm like, after that tour, I'm like, shoot, maybe he would have been. I want to say he would be officially done with music, but he would have maybe probably abstained from it for like a while, you know,
Yeah.
unless it was like a artist that he loves, or because he loved Usher. You know, Usher was a good artist. Oh man, I love the story between him and Chris Brown. Oh my goodness. But anyway, yeah, it's hard to say, bro. It's really hard to say. That would have been, I don't know.
You
I don't
ever
know, bro.
you ever look at some of the films from the past decade and a half and you're just thinking, if Michael Jackson was still alive, you think he would have been part of that?
Right.
Like,
Cause cause most of his like the inspiration for like his concept albums literally came from like movies and sci-fi. He was a huge
yeah.
sci-fi
And
person.
I mean,
Fantasy.
when you think about the stuff that has come out since he died, I mean, think about it. This dude, Michael Jackson, was only alive to see two movies in the MCU. Like, biggest multimedia franchise, I think, possibly ever. He didn't know that. He
Yeah.
would only have seen Iron Man and Hulk.
Oh yeah, Iron Man was good, and then Hulk. I said Hulk was pretty good, but like the writing and
Uh,
but the actor,
of all my of all the Hulk centric films that I've seen, that one's still my favorite. Also, because in terms of the way the Hulk looks, it's still my favorite.
Savage Hulk. Yeah, I had the shoot, bro. I had that game on the Wii.
Yeah.
I freaking love.
So, let's see some good films that. Dang, now I'm just. I had like a couple films in my head, but now that I'm truly trying to think through the past 17 years of cinema, like I'm just like overloaded. Um, I'll just stick with okay, so Spike Lee, okay, Black Klansman. Michael Jackson, I don't know if he would have performed in it. Maybe he would have made a new song for like the credits, like when
Yeah.
Spike Lee was showing stuff that happened through history, and then he showed what happened the year before. Like, this is still happening, guys. Like, I feel like Michael
Yeah.
Jackson would have made some song for the end credits in the same spirit of Heal the World.
Yeah.
Kind of like Rocket Man. Elton John made a brand new song for the end credits. I think Michael Jackson would have done that. I definitely think he would have helped produce that film. Um, Dang, I had like hundreds of films in my head where I'm like overloaded trying to think about which ones he'd have worked on.
I could have easily seen him. There was this one particular interview when he was addressing, like, I think he was talking about Elvis on how, they stole from a lot of like black artists and so forth, and like, because a lot of people was asking like, where you get this move from, when you learn these type of dances, and like, he was so much of a student of like of history and dancing and movement and um I forgot what's the term that you call it, but I would have easily seen him doing like a documentary on like a cinema of like on like a music history on dance moves and all types of stuff. Because if you know the artist, I think what was the name of the artist? I think Andre 3000, Childish Gambino, and he's multi talented. And some of the inspiration that he got from This Is America literally came from like Michael, because he did his research on studying certain like dance moves and looks and aesthetics that came from Africa and all types of stuff. So I would have easily seen Mike doing a documentary for sure on like the history of like cinema. Like, oh man. Like, oh my gosh, bro. This is crazy. I'm gonna send that interview to you because it was about him talking about copyright issues or some type of problems with Sony at the particular time. He was like exposing some stuff. I'm gonna send it to you. I think this is like right after like those court cases and allegations and stuff like that. And think, yeah, I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you.
I think Michael Jackson would have wanted to have a cameo in one of the sequel films of Star Wars.
Oh my gosh! Of course, him and George Lucas was tight.
I'm trying to think what would he want to be? Would he want to be a stormtrooper, an Imperial officer, or would he want to be one of the rebels in the ship?
Oh, bro!
Sorry, I'm just thinking. Imagine he's the one that blows up Starkiller Base.
Nah. He actually did a video game on him too. Oh my gosh, bro! Oh, bro!
If he lived to see like the MCU, the DCEU, maybe he would have done cameos for those. In terms of like superheroes, I'm not entirely sure how big of a fan he was. Like, I think he liked. I know he didn't dislike them. I mean, obviously he liked Spider-Man. So yeah, maybe he would have wanted to cameo in like Homecoming or yeah. So I was gonna say like No Way Home, but then I'm thinking like where would he be? Like it's such a serious film compared to the other two.
He had a good. I think he loved the film because he loves fantasy because it was that one song that you sent me when we were doing like the 30-day challenge. Just leave me alone, leave me. That album, I think he like I said, he loved sci-fi, he loved fantasy, and I think he loved E.T. as well too.
Ooh.
And I think around that time he had a good relationship with Spielberg as well. He had a good relationship with everybody.
I know a good place for Michael Jackson to cameo in the MCU. The Guardians of the Galaxy.
Ooh, the dance off, bro.
No, not just the dance off, but you could have. Well, no, he wouldn't have wanted to be an alien because he didn't want to be an alien for Men in Black. But then again, he didn't want to be an alien in that one because he wanted to be a Men in Black. For Guardians of the Galaxy, what if he was one of the alien? Oh my God, what do you call Yondu's crew? Ravagers?
Yeah.
I think he would have wanted to be one of them. Oh, sorry. A funny scene to see would have been like, what's his name? Star-Lord starts moving, doing the dance-off. Just cut to Michael Jackson as one of the Ravagers starting to move, and then somebody's like, no. Like, that would have been funny. Like, stopping the iconic Michael Jackson from dancing, like, no, bro.
Oh my God.
That would have been funny. Okay,
Since a gang, I'll probably say since like he was like kind of like into. I want to say he was into gang culture, but he would like. I think he loved like a lot of drama action films, like because you seen You Rock My World. Then it was another one with Smooth Criminal.
Oh, Smooth Criminal, that 9-10 minute video. That was a good one.
And then with Bad. So I could have seen him doing something in the film, like him acting like in the game, like bro, the way how he dressed, the hat, the dealing with the crime family, bro. You seen some of that inspiration like in his films, like for sure. That would have been good.
I'm trying to think of.
Damn.
I'm trying to think of like standalone films that he wanted to do because I've touched on Star Wars, Marvel, like those are franchises, but like some standalone films he would have been a part of.
Ooh, Smooth Criminal would have been a good film. That would have been a good film.
Here, hold on. I have a list of standalone films. We stopped talking about the movie like half an hour ago.
Oh yeah, we did a whole 30-minute segment on story time.
Oh, Caught Stealing. That would have been a fun one for him to do.
Oh man.
They Will Kill You. Also fun. Not Okay. Oh, I remember. What are some older films he probably would have done? Pixels. Oh, that would have been funny if he did Pixels. The Incredible Burt Wonderstone. Maybe. Oh, Ruby Sparks is a good one.
Yeah.
The Nice Guys. I could totally see him doing The Nice Guys.
That would have been interesting.
Inception. Ooh. Now, if he was going to do Inception, he would have been signed on before he died. But then again, those last couple years were kind of rough on him. See, that's the thing. Like, if we assume he's still alive, like, okay, how far back are we taking it? Like, is it just that one night he isn't given the wrong dosage, he lives on? Or are we, like, erasing his, like, last 50 performances, which were very hard on him?
I think it will probably be dealing in regards on what he told the doctor, dealing with I forgot what you call it, not propofol, or it was something.
So
he just wanted to rest for like a few days. He was just tired.
All right, so we're just erasing the fact that he died, not everything that like got him there. Just the fact that he died and was given like the wrong dosage or something.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So we're just erasing that. Okay. Yeah, I think he probably would have recovered. Obviously, he'd still have trouble sleeping, taking pills, because I mean he was still in pain. That's the unfortunate thing about imagining if he was alive. He'd still be in pain.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just gonna drive myself crazy thinking about all these what ifs. And
I know. I'm like, bro, it's the whole episode.
Also, because we're approaching, we're like at 2 hours 15, I think, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is already a long episode. And we did talk about the movie, but okay. So basic takeaways. I gave it a straight 10 out of 10. I mean, maybe I was just very much on a high. Maybe it's closer to like a 9.6, 9.8. But it is a really good film. Critics do not...
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to say they don't know what they're talking about. Because, yes, for those who haven't seen it, first off, why are you still listening to us? We spoiled everything. But...
Yeah, at this point.
It doesn't cover, like, a good 20 years of his life. And those 20 years are a big part of his reputation. But like I said, that could be a part 2. So...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Phil, have you seen American Dream?
I don't think I have, unless it's a title I forgot about. Like, there are some films I've seen that I forgot the titles of. Lately, I've been trying to watch everything in the National Film Registry. I've gone through, like, I started in 1891, the oldest one, all the way, I'm in 1910 now, but one of the last ones I saw from 1909, A Corner in Wheat. That's a good one. I'll send you a link to that one. It's like 13 minutes long, but it is such a good early example of tackling the evils of capitalism through film. It's a silent film, so you don't have, you could watch it on a bus or anywhere.
Renaissance.
Yeah, I'll send you right after. I got to write a list of all the things I said I'd send you because I'm gonna forget.
Me too. Bro, you'll love this. You'll love this.
Alright. A Corner in Wheat. What trailer was it you said you didn't see? You had said you didn't see a trailer.
Oh, I think it was it Silo? Or was it no?
Oh, Coyote versus Acme.
Yeah, there we go.
I'll show you after this. Coyote versus Acme. Spider-Noir. Have you seen those trailers?
I think no, I haven't seen the latest one because they came out with like 3 in total. I haven't seen the latest one.
Oh, and I said I'd also show you my the radio and the TV. Anyway, I think that might be everything for this episode that I wanted to talk about, at least for the podcast.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, guys, if you guys still want to keep this momentum and keep this segue keep going on in regards to Michael, one of the things I highly suggest if you guys want to know more about the lore, the family, the music, the inspiration, I really suggest watching this. It's like it's a 2-part movie series. The first part is like 3 hours, and then the other one is like another like 2.5. It's the Jacksons and American Dream, bro. It's real good. It touches on everything. This is like the OG, the original source.
I like that
and this was approved by Michael himself, you guys.
I like that we talk like we've got like hundreds of fans listening to us. It's probably like 2 people. Like both of you, if you want to see the Jacksons. No, but this
like near future reference.
No, you're right. Like if we ever blow up and people come back and watch these, because, well, I mean, this is our 10th episode.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to say, like if we do blow up, something I want to tell people is we're not going to do these out of obligation. Like I don't want to make any episodes that we feel obliged to do it. Like, a movie comes out and then it's like, oh well, it's expected. Yeah. It's expected of us, so we're going to talk about. Like Josh and I are going to just talk about what we want to talk about.
Yeah, nothing's going to be forced. It has to be creatively. It has to work, and it has to be like, bro, you hear about this? Like we got to be amped into it.
Yeah,
like
like if you guys are telling us like, oh, did you see that latest Star Trek film? Like, I don't know if Josh watches Star Trek, and I'm still in 1991, so no, I'm not going to be talking about recent Star Trek stuff. Like,
I think the last thing I even seen from it was like the one that was being done by J.J. Abrams.
Oh, from like 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know why I use Star Trek as an example. I'm trying to think of like a franchise that neither one of us engages in. But like I do love franchises, as flawed as they are. I do love franchises, so it's hard for me to think of one I don't engage with. But anyway, like if there's a big movie further down the line, and you're like, oh, like Phil and Josh, like they gotta cover this. Like it's like everyone's loving it, but it's not something that personally interests us. Yeah. We're not gonna touch on it. Like, I mean, if you want to listen to like film reviews or people talking about the latest trends, there are other podcasts for that. This one is
out there.
Yeah, this one is just 2 nerds talking about the stuff we like.
Yeah, it's like a community of like having a seminar of like things that we all love and having like a conversation, a discussion about them.
Yeah. Oh, so, and if any of you guys ever want to be on the podcast, you could also like contact us. I mean, we love inviting our friends on here. We've had Gatan, both of the Kevins. I mean, this is only episode 10, so it's not like we've had too many people on here.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I just thought about? I'm like, bro, we should have like when it starts to, that we should have people like send in things of like, hey, we want to get you guys' opinion. Like, what do you guys think about X, Y, and Z? Like, that's when we probably start doing like the whole
like shorts.
Yeah, the YouTube shorts and everything. So
like one question per short. We could start doing that. Yeah, to give like short answers. And I mean, again, I don't know if we'll ever get a fan base or how big it would be if we did. But if it gets to the point where we get like thousands of questions a week, obviously we're not going to touch on all of them.
Yeah.
Like no hate, guys. It's just that we do live lives.
Yeah, we got lives.
Yeah, if we didn't, Josh and I would be making an episode like every day. We have we have so much we want to talk about. Like we just said, we could do an entire episode on just what would it be like if Michael Jackson were still alive. What would it be? One question we came up with was like for Star Wars. What if we came up with what if Obi-Wan and Ahsoka switch places at the end of the Clone Wars? See, that's an entire episode right there. Like Josh and I would be doing this every day if we actually had that time.
Yeah, easily. Definitely. I'm trying to see because since we touched on this biopic, and I think, you know, some other projects that we should start looking out for. I feel like one of the things I think Philip mentioned, I think you mentioned that I think the same people that did this in Bohemian Rhapsody, they're actually doing a Beatles.
Yeah, the 4-parter, and we did talk about it in episode 9. I kind of rehashed it in my re-recording to tell people. I don't know if it's going to be like 4 different chapters of their lives from like beginning to end, or if it's going to be like one focusing on each Beatle. Which the way I would handle that is the common thread would be the Beatles through the years, like from just coming together all the way to their legendary status, with each film just having a particular focus on one of them.
Yeah.
That's how I would personally do it. Because if they're just origin films for 4 of them, no offense to Ringo, but I really don't know how they'd get a full film out of him. Luckiest dude on the planet.
That'll be a stretch. that would definitely be a stretch.
Anyway,
and I'm
yeah.
so excited because I think Universal is working on this particular project, which produced the Michael film. Is this? I had to show this. I had to show this, you guys. I just had to. Can you see? Can you?
Yeah, I can see it,
bro. Music, bro. It's going up.
Yes.
And it's getting better. So
anyway, this was our special episode 10. I don't know. What's our next milestone? 25?
Sure. I was gonna ask you the other day. I'm like, is this gonna be like season, like episode 10? Is this gonna be like season 1 that we going to see? I don't know.
One thing, just to bring everyone else in on the conversation, like I'll just say this on the podcast. I did question, like, are we just going to like keep going on? Like, I do think this is something that we could do for years and years and years, because obviously you and I will always have something new to talk about.
Yeah.
Something I wondered is, like, do we break them off into seasons, like the 2026 season, the 2027 season, the 2020, something like that, or maybe like every few years we just cut it off, or maybe like every 25 episodes we cut it off somewhere. I really don't know. I mean, the thumbnail, let's say we did this for decades, maybe I'd change the thumbnail like once every 5 years. I don't want to like cut. I did think like, oh, it would be cool if I was smart enough to create a new logo every single year, but that's too much work, man. I spent some time just making that first one.
Right. He showed me it too. I was just kind of like, dang. I'm like, bro, how much time you put into this?
Like a day and a half. Just to come up with one.
We got no employees, no staff yet, you guys. It's just
yeah. Or payment, or payment. We don't get paid for this either. Like we're so amateur. Like, it's literally just me and Josh in a Discord call, and I'm using OBS to record it, and then I just upload it to YouTube. That's really all it is.
Yeah.
When we did episode 1 and we did a bunch of like what if questions, I did I had someone make images of the stuff we were talking about, kind of like Jason Bourne versus John Wick, and then I did put up an image of that, but even that was too much work because I can't always rely on this person either for every single episode we do. So it really is just recording a Discord call between us. That's all it is. And for the foreseeable future, that's all it's going to be. But I hope that you guys just engage with what we're saying. And I just hope you have fun. Anyway, I think we're at like 2.5 hours. So
Yep.
I think we should start signing off.
Yeah, it's about that time, you guys. About to log off.
Alright, so I'll see you guys. This is the Cuban signing off.
Black guy out.
And he did Wakanda Forever. Either that or X-Force. X-Force.
You got it right now. You got it right the first.